All right, howdy, folks. Big Ed Barnum here from Big Ed Barnum's Bobble Barn and Garden. A very important message for you. It's 6:55 in the a.m. here on the West Coast, coming to you live from, for some reason I almost said coming to you live from Florida. I don't know where my mind is. I haven't even had anything to drink today except some crappy diet soda that I know is probably just going to rot my gut out faster than the whiskey, probably. Anyway, coming to you live and using Restream.io, which we finally got set up. So I should be, at this very moment, hitting YouTube, Facebook, Mixer, and Twitch all at the same time. And then using a app, well, Restream's chat app, so that I can actually monitor chat in all four of those platforms. So if you're on one of those platforms, I'd really appreciate it if you put a test message out there. You could say, good morning, Big Ed, or Big Ed, you should really go wash the sleep buggers out of your eyes before you stream this earlier in the morning. Or Big Ed, you're too fat, lose weight. You know, whatever you want to say. You can make it supportive or mean. You can be a hater if you want to. I think I got a good audio monitor here. We're going to be switching our audio equipment out here sometime soon. And thanks to, I'm sorry, what's that, Rory? No, stop. Sorry. Rory, he's already, every time we go live early in the morning, Rory thinks people want to get their day started with a dirty joke. No, I don't care. I know it's the size of a baby's arm, but that's just not, no. Sorry. So anyway, what do we do here on a Sunday morning? Well, you know, Sundays are usually the last day of estate sales, so we're going to go look at a couple of estate sales. I also like working some of the New York Times puzzles on Sunday because, you know, yeah, I'm a geek. And I think I saw Jason Wethington give a thumbs up. Hi, Jason. I don't know if you're, which side of the world you're on right now. It might be 7 or 8 o'clock in the p.m. Yeah, still Sunday where you are. But good day or good evening to you, wherever you happen to be. I hope your Indian adventures are going well. Let's see. I think we're going to get... There was something else I wanted to do. Oh, yeah. This morning's broadcast is brought to you by Shield Pure Lard. It's the only lard guaranteed to be free of bone, gristle, and lard-like substances. I don't know if you know this or not, but a lot of folks that, a lot of companies that put out lard, you know, you'll get a fair amount of hair and rat turds and things like that in their lard, but not at Shield Pure Lard from the Armor Company. You might know them from some of their other products like... well, they have a lot of ham products, but they have other things as well. Shield Pure Lard, you know, you can set this right out on the front porch, let the sun warm it up, and you've got yourself a delicious sipping lard. So whether you're re-seasoning a cast iron skillet, you want to do some deep frying, or you just want to pass the afternoon sipping some lard, I think Shield Pure Lard is about, well, to me, it's the best. It's the best route to go. Shield Pure Lard, buy it by the pail, eat it by the spoon. And I am paid modestly in lard product to say that. Pure Lard was actually my nickname in high school. You know, it was like, there was some muscle in there, so, you know. My wife tells me all the time that I share too many things. On the live stream. Perhaps that's one of them. All right. I believe I hit the right one. We're going to go over and we're going to look at some estate sales. Now, there's a couple different websites you can use for this. See what happens when we get out here. Please ignore the names of the tabs there. There's some other things out there that I'll do. We should do a little picture-in-picture here because I'd hate for folks, you know, not to see me. Oh, that's the wrong one. Let's see, here we go. Boom, boom. There we go. How is that? Oh, I need to scoop that thing in. What's that, Rory? No, shut up. No, just don't do that. I'm going to go over here and check one thing really quick. Let's see. Howdy, Rob Adams. Shouldn't you be in church? Oh, I guess it's still, no, no. I don't know. I should shut up. All right, let me get back over here to my thing. All right, here we go. All right, I like to draw up a random zip code here. I'll just refresh these just to make sure these are random. I did see Muskogee, Oklahoma. Actually, we should just go Muskogee, Oklahoma. I'm just gonna, I don't know what that zip code was. Apparently I don't know where Oklahoma is. All right, let's see. That sounds like seems a reasonable way to spell Muskogee. Let's see. I don't see any estate sales in the hot zone of Muskogee. But let's see. Let's see what we got here. New one day Glenn Crumbliss estate tag sale. I think. Oh, that's coming up. That's August 4. You know, nothing says convenience like planning your death and its subsequent estate sale. So somebody here is doing the family a favor by scheduling their estate sale on August 4. I'm kidding. It's just probably it's taken them that long to organize the estate sale. That sometimes happens when the estate is fairly large. Now, what I find pretty funny here is it's the New Beginnings estate sales. It's not really the new beginning for anything except the owner of the things that are purchased. You know, the things at the estate sale might have a new beginning under the ownership or caretakership. There's a word I'm looking for there. But certainly the person who's passed away, well, I guess depending on your religious affiliation, they might have a new beginning somewhere, but yeah. All right, so that was in the future. So let's actually go back to our random zip codes here. Collegeville, Pennsylvania. I just don't like the sound of it. And all of these, a vast majority of these random zip codes are Mid-Atlantic, East Coast, New England, sometimes as far west as St. Louis. I'm going to go until we have a West Coast city here. I'm on the West Coast. We're going to do one on the West Coast this morning. As you can see, all of these are Eastern Seaboard types. As soon as this page finishes loading here, I'm going to go back in. Well, good grief. They're going to give us one? All right. I'll take anything west of St. Louis. Any state west of St. Louis. Not that St. Louis is a state, but Butte, Montana. All right, let's go to Butte, Montana, 59701. 59701. Butte, Montana. Surely somebody's died in Butte, Montana. Oh, it's a living estate sale. That means somebody's moving into a smaller house and they got to get rid of stuff. And they're, you know, we'll call it a living estate sale because garage sale is a little too beneath this person's station, apparently. There better be some gems here, or I'm going to call them out on that. Nothing like being mean to old people who are having to downsize to move into another situation. All right, here we go. This one's in the future as well, July 26th. You know, the reason I do this on a Sunday is to get those estate sales that are closing and some of the deals that you can find. So let's go back here. All right, summer estate sale and decorative arts auction starts at 11 a.m. Sunday. It is a few hours away. Let's go look at some of these photos. How many photos do we have here? Let's just start right here. Victorian. We only have 61 photos, so this won't take very long. Victorian mahogany, barley twist side chair. You know, one of the things that you can tell about a chair is how well it's worn. This looks like a very good chair. This is a chair that someone has taken loving care of, and you know, you haven't had any sort of I was going to say something pretty nasty. You haven't had somebody sitting in this chair whose backside is dirty. because you can see there's no stains. There's no stains on this on the thing of this chair. You know, stains on the fabric and padding of a chair is something that my wife has told me is one of those things that I shouldn't discuss, because I have a tendency to dwell too much on the source and the nature of the stains on those things. And she's like, just say the word stain and move on. This chair is unstained. The next one's probably got poop marks on it. I don't know. That's the kind of thing she would say. Is like, don't talk about the poop stains on somebody's chair, especially. I'm sorry, honey. I'm just gonna drink this here. All right, here we got a pair of antique silvered silvered shell back chairs, circa 1900. Now, I don't know if silvered means they were painted, or if the silvering is a type of finish. I'm just going to go look it up here. Silvering furniture. Method of resilvering. So, let's see. Silvering, desilvering. Desilvered or antique mirror. All right. Seems to be more something about mirrors. Let's do silvering wood furniture. Get a look at that. So it looks like it's just a way of aging, giving an aged look to some things. I don't quite know. I'm going to get out of there though. Go back to this. So, you know, one of the things you don't have on some of these sites is, you know, prices. You know, these chairs could possibly be more than $50 a piece. They could be $100. It's a Sunday though. If they're still there, you could probably just put a bid on them. All right, Chinese decorated lacquer box on stand, circa 1920. Likely this is a box that did come from China. Likely pillaged and or looted by someone who was just happened to be over there. I've found, and I'm no expert on this, but a few of the folks I've talked to, when it comes to these turn of the 19th into the 20th century, is that right? Yeah. A lot of these things did not come as part of someone who was immigrating from China to the U.S. at the time, but these were things that were white folks brought over. And I'm not saying this is the case for this. Some damage up here on the top. That might just be damage to the finish itself, and that the box looks like it's in pretty good shape. Edwardian dining room chairs. You know, when I hear the word Edwardian, half the time I think it's just something that a marketing company has slapped on. These might be actual Edwardian, well, whether or not from the Edwardian period itself, you know, that remains to be seen, and I can't inspect the bottom of these chairs. All right, antique demi-lune. I don't know what demi-lune means. Let's go look it up. Half moon? I don't know. I think I just figured it out, because if you go look at the thing there, it's a half moon shape. Sometimes drinking whiskey and having free-form thoughts on your own pays off. But I think demi-lune, I think it means half moon. A small body shaped like a half moon or a crescent. All right. So kids, if you want to expand your vocabulary, read and drink a lot at the same time. I'm sure I'll get some nasty comment about that. Anyway, this is a nice looking piece. I'm not saying I'd purchase it. The one thing that I've always that has always bugged me about these two drawer chests, this style, is you have to open the bottom drawer first if you want to open the top drawer, because there's no real recess or knob to pull the top drawer out. There might be something hidden here, which is making it easier, but this is one of my complaints with this type of furniture here. All right, Art Nouveau armchair, or as we like to call it, this is the chair for the fat guy that likes to pretend that he's doing a squat, because it's a low chair, it's a wide chair, it'll support a large man, and you know, I know my friend Willard converted one of these Art Nouveau armchairs into a camp toilet. He just cut a hole in it, and he would just carry it around. Again, that's the kind of thing that my wife would say. Don't say that on a live stream. That people could. I don't know. People pooping through a wood hole on a chair. People have been doing it for centuries. I don't know why she gets on me for, you know. All right. This is a word that I have pronounced many times because there's a fella with an album, chinoiserie, I think is how it's pronounced, and his is chinoiseries, because it's a series of things. Anyway, lacquer tray, table, and stand circa 1900 looks to be in good shape. I think that price tag says $50 on it, which some folks would spend that outright immediately on it. I can't say there's anything, and again, I'm just half-assing my commentary on this. I wouldn't pay $50 for this. I'd put a $20 bid on it on a Sunday if it was still there, and probably you might get it. Asian chinoiserie style bench. I'd like to know more about the person who has all these pieces. There's some good stuff in here. You know, a lot of these estate sales, you get 3 or 4 pictures in, and you realize it's just, you know, they have a Toyota Tercel in the garage that they're trying to sell, and a bunch of yard and garden stuff. And then that's about nothing against Toyota Tercels or yard and garden equipment, but you know, I want to see some antiques when somebody's died or downsizing. I'm being mean. Oh, beautiful piece. Buy this for, you know, if you're opening a boutique shop of some kind, buy this and put it in there. But don't put this in your house and then let your nieces and nephews come over and tear it up, because that's, you know, that's what nieces and nephews are good for. Signed Oriental style Carlton disc. I don't know what signed means in this phrase. Surely they don't mean singed. I don't even know what that would be here. This looks like a nice piece. I have a piece like this that's more of an armoire or armoire, and it's a nice piece. Seeing what's going on over here. Just making sure my business is firing off well enough over here. Let's see. Let's go back. All right, here we go. Boom. This is a different piece. Japanned paper mache. I'm not sure what japanned means. I know some folks might say, well, it's a way of speaking disparagingly about a piece of furniture. Japanned paper mache. I have a feeling it's a way of inlaying art in the paper mache that is not Japanning. Imitation Asian lacquer work. Dried sap. Not available in Europe. Japanning, most often a heavy black lacquer, almost like enamel paint. Black Japanning. So if you just joined in, I'm not being racist. I'm just talking about an applique method for paper mache here. Can't get a decent look at that price on that. Antique Venetian wall mirror. You know, there's some. You know, I love everything. You know, I love a lot about Italian, French, all that Northern European art stuff. But sometimes when I see the word Venetian, I just something. This mirror here might be for you, but it is not for me. Painted Tolwar fire screen. This is the type of thing that, again, if you're a I was gonna make a prostitute joke. If you're a French prostitute in the late 19th century, this is one of the things that you're required to have by trade. Just country walnut table with 3 leaves. That looks like a nice piece. I have a feeling they probably want a couple $100 for this. The leaves back there. It looks like it's in good shape. but the leaves look like they have possibly seen some damage in storage. Antique chest of drawers. We all know this stuff here. Japanese chest with metal studs. Based on the other things we've seen, I have to take it on faith that it is truly a Japanese piece. It looks nice. You know, this is the kind of thing that, you know, you can put your trucker hat and your wallet in at the end of the day. Federal brass fire screen. Not going to look at it early. That's another thing. My wife tells me you don't have to belch on screen, or if you do, you could just hit the mute button like this. So you heard the first one, and then you didn't hear the second one. Anyway, it's like everybody knows what a mute button does. My wife would claim I don't know what a mute button does because I rarely use it. Japanese decorated blue chest. Looks like a beautiful piece. I love this color of blue, this hue of blue. Hue of blue, rated R. Tonight's episode, Hue of Blue. And that's H-U-G-H, not H-U-E. Just, I'm not, you know, it's 7 in the morning, and I have not been drinking. You know, grandfather clocks, you know, if Earl Cotton Bailey was on here, I might ask him a question or two about grandfather clocks. He has owned a few. I'm just going to move on past these. Dragon Tokonami Jardiniere. Don't know what any of that means other than it looks like a vase that's on a pedestal, and I have no idea. Can I select text here? I can. Let's just go do a quick search. A few weeks ago, I did not go off and do searches while I was on the thing here, and somebody gave me a piece of advice. It's like, well, if you don't know what it is, and you're live streaming all morning, and you don't know when you're going to get off the stream, you know, go look these things up that you don't know. Huge Japanese Tokonami planter. So I see lots of things where these are at estate sales. I don't quite see anything. Maybe this one might just be. Yeah, it might just be a list of other stuff. All right, I'm not going to linger on that too much, other than it's a vase that might be a couple $100. Black lacquered wine chest. You know, I don't know why they would say japanned paper mache on one, and then not japanned wine chest here, because this looks like it has the same black japanning technique that the other thing did. And that might just be my idiocy in not knowing my different applique methods of decorating furniture and objets d'art. Another Asian 3-section folding screen if you're a French prostitute, you know, above the Moulin Rouge or in a back alley and you just want some privacy. This is the kind of thing you would, it'd be a write-off if you bought it. Chinoiserie, lacquered tea box. That is beautiful. I love that inlay work. I assume that, well, it may not be inlay work. It might be inlaid highlights and another applique method there. Nothing to say about these. That shade of green, that hue of green doesn't really do much for me. And I don't know what these are. These look like shelves that you would put on a wall, perhaps. This being the underside of the shelf. This being where you could secure the shelf. I have a feeling these are, oh yes, Japanese lacquered collapsible shelves, circa 1900. There's a lot of good pieces here. Silk Japanese obies. These, I have a feeling, are not turn of the century. These are probably relatively new, just because the fabric looks in good shape. They may be knockoffs. Reproductions. I'll say reproductions, not knockoffs. Belle Epoque Austrian shelf and jewels lamp. If you are 85 years old and would like to have a murder mystery in your home, this might be a set piece that you'd like to acquire. Ancestral portrait painting. Okay, sure. All right. Boats, Japanese woodblock of the Meiji period. Now, these are most likely reproductions, and I'm wanting to know. There is, I think it's Hiroshige. I'm really getting in over my head here. There's a guy who did a lot of woodblock paintings. There's 99 stations. Let's see. I think this is how you spell it. And it might not be 99. 53 stations of the Tokaido. And this is by the person who created these, Hiroshige. Did a lot of these wood blocks. I'm actually just going to do Hiroshige boats. I have a feeling this might be a reproduction of the boats. Hiroshige fishing boats. No, it doesn't look like it. But you can see the style, Meiji style. This is one of those things that I know just enough about these Japanese wood blocks to get in trouble at a party when I'm talking to them, and someone who actually knows what they're talking about says, no, Big Ed, you don't know what you're talking about. Which happens just about every party I go to. Yixing pottery bowl. There's a lot of good pieces here. You know, one of the things, this is the blessing and the curse of estate sales, and you know, if you know me, it's one of those things that if you've been to a few estate sales, you know that sometimes there's a lot of junk, and sometimes there's a lot of just it's mostly what really is expensive pieces of art that just happen to be in an estate sale. And the blessing and the curse for estate sales for me is that there's junk, there's high pieces of art, and then there's that sweet spot where there are things that you kind of want to buy because you would like to use them in your life. And it's sort of some of these estate sales. I went to the single camera because I was going to share something with you, and then I realized I didn't really have much to say. I like going to an estate sale where there's a mix of stuff that ranges from junk to that high art stuff to those pieces that you're going to buy because you actually want to use them. And I'm just trying to figure out what I have here. So here's one. Well, I didn't get that at an estate sale, so I can't say. Here's one. I got this at an estate sale. Sorry, Shield Pure Lard. I'm going to move you out of the light here. But Cushing's rules of here. Let me just do this. We'll get this professional operation going here sometime soon. Cushing's Manual of Parliamentary Procedures. This is something that I got at an estate sale. You know, I think I could get this more squared up here. Yeah, there we go. Look at that. That's a professional thing. Cushing's Manual for Parliamentary Procedures. This is something I bought at an estate sale for, you know, I probably spent $3 for this. Perfect thing to buy at an estate sale. And I read it. So it's like one of those things that I wanted to just buy and have and use in my daily life because, you know, there's a lot of arguing that happens here in the shed, mostly between myself and Cole, Screaming Eagle Wilson. But, you know, sometimes when my wife comes out here and says, could you stop using the F word? And, you know, flatulence is usually what she's talking about. And I say, well, honey, we're not really using the F word. We're just farting up a storm out here. Anyway, there was a point to all of that. I'm going to get back to the estate sale here. Yeah, that's right. Except I'm going to go here on the B camera. All right, let's get back to this. Quit babbling. See who's joined here in a second. All right. Here's a little seductress. Charles George Ferville. I guess it might be a Ferville Swan. Art Nouveau bronze. If you like ceramics and bronze in one piece, this looks a little too gaudy, and I don't trust this this fairy or this sprite or whatever that is. You know, the fairy folk of the world, sprites, fairies. I'm sorry, Rory. I'm disparaging your type. You're fine, Rory. No, I was I wasn't going to say that. No. No, I know they're half naked most of the time. If they're half naked most of the time, I think that means they're 3/4 naked all the time. I don't know what. No. Anyway, fairies, gnomes, and I'm sorry I'm saying it, but trolls, anybody in that fairy world, if they promise you something, take it with a grain of salt, because there's usually, however good of what they've offered you, there's a shoe waiting to drop. Lapis box with a bronze crawling lizard. I'm not a big fan of reptiles of the world, so I'm going to keep. We've already seen this this box. We've already seen it. I'm not drunk. It's 7:30 in the morning here. It is warm out here. I will tell you that. It's going to be 96, 97 degrees today in Portland. Actually, let's go verify that. Portland weather. 69 degrees right now, and it will be, oh dear, this cannot be correct. 8 a.m., 100 degrees. Oh, sorry. This timeline here is different than this here. So it's going to be 100 degrees today. That doesn't, that hurts me. It hurts me. All right, I'm going to go back over here. I got to check a few things. I realize I'm all over the place this morning. But as I said, we are testing 4 different platforms that we are streaming to which we are streaming simultaneously. And I'm just going to go out here and see what we got here. Go into my channel. That we are streaming to. You can hear the feedback there. All right, let's go over here. We are streaming. All right, I'm just going to assume, since 2 of them are working, I'm going to assume all of them are working, which is probably the worst thing that you can assume. There's a fly. There's a fly on the set. Sorry, I just thought it would be funny if I overreacted to something. All right, let's go. We're going to get done here pretty soon with this one. We're on We're on picture 35 of 61, and we've got these. This beautiful pair of Meissen blue onion sweet meat figural dishes. I think somebody got carried away here with the description. I think I would have said a pair of Meissen blue dishes. There's something about meat figural dishes. I don't know. I just these ladies are beautiful, but I don't know what I'm going to do. Rare, one of a kind, Tico Art Nouveau Satyr and Nude vase. Satyrs, satyrs, however you want to pronounce it, are also in that fairy world. Don't trust a word they tell you. I mean, never buy a used car from a centaur or a satyr, and you'll be well served. Grand Tour Micro Mosaic Paperweight. This is an odd little piece. And that is definitely not Asian inspired. Enough said. Large Japanese Classon vase from the Meiji period. No idea how much this is. It's a beautiful piece. I'm going to start going through these a little faster. I'm wanting to get past some of the Japanese ceramic artistic style. Rockwell Kent. Wake up, America. I don't know. I should probably know Rockwell Kent. American painter, printmaker, illustrator, writer, sailor, adventurer, and voyager. I almost said voyeur, but let's see. Ooh, there was an incident, the Monhegan incident. Jamie Wyeth in the 2010s conceived a series of paintings referencing untoward occurrences on Monhegan Island. One of them was entitled Portrait of Rockwell Kent and portrays the artist in the foreground holding his palette and brush with a tiny figure falling off a cliff in the distance. Although the scene is a wintry one, I've always been bugged by the fact that wintry does not have an E in it. I've always argued that wintry should be the word winter-y. It is wintry, not wintry. Wintry is just a little too, I don't know. It doesn't cut it in my book. Anyway, although the scene is a wintry one and Kent was not on the island at the time, the painting nevertheless connects Kent with the midsummer disappearance and death of 49-year-old Sally Maynard Moran, a longtime friend and model Kent sketched in the early 1920s. In the summer of 1953, as her marriage to advertising executive Daniel Moran was coming to an end, Moran accepted an invitation from Kent and his wife to stay at the cottage they owned on Monhegan. Although Rockwell and Sally Kent were not in residence, Kent's eldest daughter, Kathleen, and her 2 children stayed with Moran for part of her time there. On the evening of July 9, Moran went out for a walk and did not return. 3 weeks later, her body was found in the ocean by fishermen. The mysterious incident, in which Kent and his family were not implicated, contributed to the sale of the Kent home on Monhegan. Interesting. I'm going to do a search on Jamie Wyeth, Rockwell Kent. See if we can get a shot of this. So here's our painter here, and here's someone falling off a cliff. Exactly as the Wikipedia article said. All right, we'll go back to this. So this is a lithographic reproduction of a Rockwell Kent illustration. Maybe they have more in here. Seascapes, you know, I've been watching a lot of Bob Ross on Twitch lately. Not that he's putting out new stuff. It's just they have a channel on Twitch. It's literally the Bob Ross channel. If you go to Twitch and search for Bob Ross, you can watch reruns 24/7 of the old Bob Ross on PBS. That's how we do it sometimes. Let's see. Let's keep on going. Oh, and by the way, this is what I do early in the morning, because I wake up around 5:30 every morning, because I have hillbilly blood, and my body is telling me that I should be out milking cows or fixing the tractor that was somehow injured. The tractor was injured the day before. Anyway, my body's telling me to get up and get out and get that stuff done. But I don't live on a farm. I live on a farm-like piece of property, in that we have tomatoes in the backyard, and we have some squirrels. That to me quantifies as a farm these days. Peonies. Sèvres-style lamps with hand-painted birds. I know nothing about the Sèvres style, so I'm just going to go. You know, it's Educational Sunday. Sèvres-style porcelain. Inside the archives. Sèvres porcelain. Everything you need to know from Christie's. I'm going to go there. They're a trusted source. Let's see. It is a French factory, so apparently the Sèvres name is likely a family name of somebody, a family that owned a porcelain factory. I could probably just read it aloud and come to the same thing. No, Christie's, I love you, but I don't want to sign up for anything right now. A new factory built on the village of Sèvres. So Sèvres is a place. It is a style of, I do like this illustrated style here, this semi-realistic style. I mean, if you look at the perspective in this, the top piece maybe not so much, but this piece here, I like this perspective. I like these guys on their little, looks like a riverboat, French riverboat, 18th century. And so, know your marks. 2 painted blue interlaced L's. It's another thing I like about estate sales and the internet is a lot of times I'll go someplace. I'll even do this at my coffee shop because they like to serve coffee in little, it's not matching. It's not full sets. It's just random pieces of cups and saucers that they've acquired different places. And, I usually do this after I've drank my coffee so I don't spill anything, but I usually look underneath and see if I can identify the marks from the company that made that stuff. And I realize I'm probably the only person in the coffee shop doing that. And I have been asked, what are you doing? And I said, well, I just want to know if it's worth, stealing this cup and saucer from the place. I've never stolen anything from Barista on Northeast Alberta in Portland, Oregon. I usually steal stuff from Extracto down the street over on Killingsworth. If you know those references, don't tell anybody that I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to be kicked out of a coffee shop. So 2 blue interlaced L's. Let's go back here. They're probably not going to have the thing. So these do say Sèvres style, so they probably reproductions. All right, dancing fox. Fairies, trolls, nymphs, centaurs, satyrs, gnomes. I know dancing fox isn't quite in the realm of the fairy world. Isn't fairy folk. But if you see a fox dancing, put your hand in your pocket and see if your wallet is still there. I'll just say that. I'm gonna have to blow my nose on something. Grandfather clock. Now these guys, these birds, porcelain bird pictures. I wish there was something here to give you a sense of scale here. These are probably small pictures, perfect for cream, that sort of stuff at the table. I do apologize. I'm going to have to find something here for nose blowing. Oh, there's a napkin. I'm going to go on mute so you don't hear this. I say, I'm just kidding. It's a mute joke where you go to mute the thing and it's not muted and you come back and anyway, just while nobody's watching, I'm sorry, Rob, Jason, if you're still watching, I appreciate it. Cruisen style 8 Kings Stein. This looks like a nice little piece. It's out of place with the rest of the collection here, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's just sort of out of the blue. We have a lot of French and Japanese-inspired original art and reproductions, and then out of nowhere, boom! We're in Germany. We've seen this before. We've seen that before. We've seen this before. We've not seen this. Greisbaum, singing bird box with key. I have no need for a singing bird box, but if I did, this would be the one I would get this. I'd spend $10 on this. They probably want 40. Molded frosted vase. There's something I don't need in my life, and it's frosted crystal. And I know there's going to be somebody who's going to say something to me out on the street, Big Ed Barnum, you're dead wrong. Here's the beauty and the magic of frosted crystal. And I'll listen to them and then pretend I got to be someplace. This is one of the, you know, is this her lover that's been turned into a rabbit? Is it her dinner, or is it just a wonderful moment between woman, and nature, humankind, and nature? She does look very kind. She looks. Hang on a second. I had to see if there was the mark of. Hang on a second here. I'm going to save this for later. I'm going to put this on Discord with a comment on it later. By the way, I'll put the Discord information up there somewhere. I just started a Discord server as a way of connecting with people. We'll probably be doing some voice chats with people on the stream soon. And anyway, just I have no. All right, I'm just going to look this up. I'm going to blow my nose again. It looks like this might be a piece that is pretty common about the object. Yep. Thanks, Barnaby's. Semi-nude maiden caressing her rabbit. Signed, very good condition, 15 by 12 inches. That's about all the details here. These are, I believe, going to be all reproductions. We'll go to this one. I guess I could just search on the artist. Although this could be a place. Sure, we'll translate this page if it comes up for translation. Doesn't look like it is. All right, I'm going to let this one go. She's beautiful. I'll just say that. Large. Champlev jade and bronze box from the Meiji period. We've seen a lot of this stuff. I'm going to blow by this one and this one. We're going to close it down. You know, there's nothing I like more than a high-class long-legged bird. Flamingo fits that. The frog certainly gets, you know, it's getting top billing, flamingo and frog. But I think we know who's upstaging who here. I am intrigued. This is a mirror. The reflection in the mirror is pretty intriguing. There's a lot of artwork here. I want to see this stuff. Where is this stuff in the estate sale? And then we have Ricola Brune's Crucifixion. I don't know why I did that accent. I'm going to see if Ricola Brune is a living artist. Likely not. Rico LeBrun. Neapolitan guy. Ooh. 2-year stint in the Italian army during World War I. What was he doing during World War II? Let's actually go back to Wikipedia on this one. Be a little easier to read. Guggenheim Fellowships. Lots of awards. A much shorter biography than the previous page. So let's go back here. I've always been fascinated with artists who have served during wartime. It certainly puts a perspective on things. Oh, by the time the Second World War rolls around, he's teaching in the U.S. After World War I, he went and worked at the Pittsburgh Plate Glass Company. Now, when people talk about falling into an internet hole, this is an example of it. So we found this piece at an estate sale. We went and looked at the artist. Now I just want to know about the Pittsburgh Plate Glass Company. They're probably still around because plate glass is a huge business. Founded 135 years ago. I don't see anything about them closing up shop. This is one of the things about, I love Wikipedia. When Wikipedia asks for money, I usually give them not a lot, because I don't have a lot, $5-10, because I have problems with Wikipedia, but for the most part, I get past those problems, because I can come in here and I can see the operating income and the total assets and the total equity of a company, just based off a link, off a passing reference of something that I found on another article. So our artist here that we were looking at, Rico Lebrun, Neapolitan, served in World War I, got an offer to go work in Pittsburgh after the First World War. Ended up teaching at L.A. Where was he teaching? Los Angeles something. Not important. I'm going to come back to this because I'm going to read about this guy, and you should too. All right. So this is and this is how we fell down that rabbit hole. That wasn't really a rabbit hole, internet rabbit hole. That was just sticking your foot in the hole before you fall into it. I'll fall into it later. Abstract painting of the crucifixion. I'm not going to talk about religious iconography or anything like that, but I like the coloring in this piece. There's a lot going on here for this being an abstraction, and if you're going to say something is I don't know, this is possibly not an antique piece at all. It's just a piece someone has tried to, these fittings here, these are awful. Somebody has, so yeah, this is circa 1900. Somebody has not done any favors to this piece. And I think I already saw it, but our last photo is of an equally disappointing piece. I'm not going to let these last two photos sully my thought of this Summer Estate Antique and Decorative Arts Auction. This is going on in Pasadena, California. Ends today. You can actually bid on these at treasureseekerauction.com. Never in my life have I bid on an estate sale item without being physically present, because usually by the time, if you do have a winning bid, by the time that you pay here's one of the secrets of estate sale auctions, any type of auction. The seller's paying a fee to the auction house or the auction company. Sometimes the buyer also has to pay a fee, so they're double dipping, right or wrong. That's how they make their money. Sometimes the fee, one party, either the buyer or the seller, is paying all the fees, and it's just hidden from the other party. A lot of estate sales will do that, but I was looking at stuff on an auction I was going to go to locally, and the seller's fee was, I forget what that was, but the buyer's fee on top of winning bids was about 13%, and I just decided that, if you win an item for $100, you have to pay $113, and then if it's something you've got to ship or haul, well, if it's $100, it's probably nothing that big that you can't get in the car. But anyway, I'm babbling at this point. All right, Pasadena, California. I love Pasadena. Nothing wrong with Pasadena. I certainly love California. That's the estate sale. How are we doing on time? We've been doing this for an hour. I'm just going to go check the Restream dashboard over here, make sure we're still live on all these platforms. Seems to be one person watching on Mixer, thank you very much for watching us on Mixer. I'm going to go over to Mixer and see if anyone has chatted anything that has not appeared on the chat dashboard. And I'm not. I'll mute that so I don't have to listen to it. All right. I'm going to do another estate sale auction review kind of thing, but I am dry, so I am going to put us here. I'm going to go solo. I'm going to put that up, and then I'm going to do this. I'm going to mute, and I'll be right back. I realize I've been on mute for, I think, ever since I came back on. Anyway, I apologize for that. I shouldn't go on mute when I walk away. Gonna see if anyone noticed that over on. Hi, Bill Holznagel. Not sure when you joined. Hopefully you didn't join to find me babbling on mute. All right, let's get back to it. This estate sale. All right, I'm going to go, since I was on mute, I'm going to go back here. Get off this for a second. Just reading the description of this estate sale. The Lloyd Flanders patio furniture. There's a lot of brown Jordan patio. I think there's going to be a lot of crap at this estate sale. The estate sale we did earlier had a lot of super high-end, well, not high-end, just a lot of great, beautiful pieces of art from Japan, original reproduction, both of those, stuff from Europe. And I just have a feeling that we're just going to see a bunch of crap at this estate sale. Anyway, this looks like the kind of furniture you could pick up at Costco. Just saying. Yeah, I think, yeah, I lost a set of patio furniture like this in my first divorce, and I have to say, it may have been the blessing of the entire divorce, is that I didn't have to use any of this wicker that's woven for life anymore. It's garbage. I'm just breezing through this because there's nothing interesting about any of this stuff. We finally get to these. I think these are the Harvard chairs that were discussed. These were probably likely stolen, which, you know, that's how a lot of people get things like this. These are probably stolen from one of the academic departments, possibly an office of the dean or something like that, or I have a feeling these are not just the chairs that they set out for, you know, graduation and moms coming in on a Sunday to, you know, bring their son and daughter's laundry. These are likely stolen chairs from Harvard. Oh. I think this might be the bottom of one of the chairs. So you could probably find a police report from Harvard University where the chairs were stolen. They probably didn't have the chair serial numbers and whatnot. Anyway, this is a nice piece. You see this a lot. It's not quite something that's up my alley, but we'll have two pictures here. It's the run-of-the-mill dining room farm table kind of thing, like I'm doing here. We've seen a lot of this stuff this morning already. I'm just going to blue thing. This is where they burned all the evidence. So you can, you know, maybe for $1 you can get some of the ashes that whatever crimes were committed and the paperwork burned away here. You think they would have vacuumed this out and cleaned these up a little bit, but these are the same people that stole chairs from Harvard, so who knows? I'm still upset that I was on mute for a good 10 minutes, I think. Anyway, 4-poster bed. You know, nothing says grandma died like. Anyway, nice little embroidered thing. The description of the auction took it out of me. These are reproductions of that Meiji style woodblock stuff. These are okay, but since we saw so many of them that were, I hate this treatment though. We're going to take this Meiji woodblock Japanese art and we're going to put it in you know, just a crappy IKEA frame. It just doesn't display it very well in my book. No captions on any of these. A lot of stuff here. More Harvard chairs. Same two pictures, I think. Oh, yeah. I think we're... Did we... All right. I think we're going to go to another sale. This one's just nothing inspiring here to me. Certainly nothing inspiring the photographer at this estate sale. If you want to sell this, take the box spring and mattress out there and just you know, sell that headboard. That's how you would do that. Yeah, this I just like. Okay, so these are things that I would buy. I would buy all 5 of these pieces. I would pay. Sorry. I'd pay $85 for all 5 of these pieces. Just saying. Ladders, new ladders, shirts. All right, I can't do this estate sale anymore. I'm sorry. I apologize. Special Picker's Delight Whitman estate sale ends July 5th. Let's just go to this one. Why did I come to this one? Oh, because it's out here on the peninsula here. So let's go back to this one. Special Picker's Delight. Just the fact that they use the phrase pickers. There's going to be some junk here, but there's going to be some treasures as well. All right. Whitman, Massachusetts, 105 Candlewick Lane. That's where we're going for this estate sale here. Description, you know, I'll read it, but reading the description of the last one, I should have just went and skipped it immediately. This is all notes. All right. Best Rate Cleanouts and Estate Sales is hosting a special Picker's Delight Whitman estate sale on Sunday, July 5. Ends today. You will find antiques, vintage, fishing tackle and rods, tools, furniture, leather, sofa, and love seat, tables, chairs, old cameras, old trunks. All right, so it's just a list of random stuff. You know, there's nothing in here that's really calling my eye other than just, you know, it's just a list of stuff. You know, if we go back to that, I'm not going to go back to it, but that first estate sale ruined all the other estate sales for today, because they were calling out the type of porcelain set art. They were calling out artist names and whatnot in that description. Anyway, I feel pretty good about this one until I see this. You know, if the estate sale, so there's 347 photos here, so we're going to end the live stream on this one because there's 347 of these photos to go through. Just a bit of advice: if you're an estate sale photographer or you're the person organizing the photos of the estate sale, don't let the photos of the garage and what's in the garage and the shed be the first photos that you see, because that's the kind of thing that most of those things photograph poorly, and you want those things at the tail end of the stuff. That's just me. That's either a dog or a wolf. I'm assuming it's a dog. I don't know if you can hear that or not. All right. We're going to blow through these initial ones because they are somewhat underexposed. They're getting a little bit better. I realized they were... I think we're going to see a lot of photos with details that we don't necessarily need. I'm not the biggest fishing tackle fan, so I'm going to blow through all of these fishing things. I'm going to just go until I see something. I can't tell if these are lures or I cannot tell what these are. And there is a lack of captions helping me out. U.S. mail bags probably still belong to the U.S. Postal Service. This is a nice little saw. You can get a workout with one of these. Grab a friend. You know, if you want to work out, get one of these saws in a case of beer, and then just go through the neighborhood sawing stuff up. When you get hot and sweaty, drink a beer. And when the cops come, you can tell them Big Ed said This is something we should go do. All right. All right. Nothing inspiring here. You know, this carnival sign, it's a little creepy. Yep. That's a vice. Identifax. Tonight's episode, Identifax. All right. There is, so my first note for the estate sale photographer or the estate sale website administrator. I realize the estatesales.net is a service and it has all kinds of folks loading stuff up. Save the photos of the shed and the garage for the last bit of the set, and don't post every photo that you took. I realize it's work taking photos, but you don't want the people who are going through the photos to feel like they're having to work to do it, if that makes sense. For instance, we've gone through 52 of these 347 photos, and this might be the first one that's actually worth taking a look at. I also get a sense that everything here is for sale, but some of it you can't quite tell if it's something that, you know, is it something that the estate auction set up? I don't know what there are no dogs in this part of the neighborhood. I don't know what that howling is coming from. Perhaps my spirit animal is wounded. Anyway, I can't quite tell what this is. It looks like a... At first I thought it was a table saw, and then I thought it was a router. I think it might just be, I don't know, there's some sort of, this guard here, I have no idea what this is. It's a saw tilt gauge, so maybe it is just the table part of a table saw and you can't see the rest of it. Good grief, these photos are awful. These photos are awful. Good. So they'll take stuff out and they'll organize it. Anyway. I'm just blowing through these. Yes, it's a Westwood flyer. It's a Sherwood flyer. Okay. All right. I'm just waiting to see something that grabs. Nope, I don't care about your glass bottle collection. I thought we were going to spend a marathon amount of time on these. I have yet, okay. All right, I'm going to go back to that one. This is, can't quite tell what those are. Can't quite tell what they are, and they're just not engaging enough to actually try and figure it out. I did see these blankets here. Can't quite tell if these are army blankets or army style blankets. Those look like they might be something I would walk out of there with. But the rest of the stuff, all right. I would get this. I would buy this for my friend Joe Frice up in Stevenson, Washington. He needs a quality garbage pail. Basic trying to figure out, I would like to see a close-up of that. So yeah, they'll take close-ups of everything. I kind of want to read what comes in the basic desert kit. It looks like a rattlesnake and some sort of other reptile. It looks like is it a, anyway, right, forget it. Just move on. Marbles. Stuff from a baby that's probably dead now. Just sorry. I would buy this tape recorder. I would wipe off, the bloody fingerprints off of it, but I'd probably get that. Yeah. So many things here that are painful. I'd buy all of these, and I'd probably, if this thing is full, it looks like it's full. You know, give them $5 for the whole thing, and then you sell these off for $1 a piece. That's how you make money. Nice typewriter. Moving blankets. I am. All right, I'm just going to keep going. America Wonderlands. A lot of books. I would probably give them $5 for all these books and hope I had something in there. Tins. Let's see. George Washington. It looks like little folders of the founding fathers, perhaps. Let's see. Whitting Milk Company. I have a couple of these milk boxes. They are the heaviest things. The wood that they use in these, I don't know the type of wood, but the banding, the metal banding that joins these things together is heavy. These weigh, at least mine, it weighs like 8 or 9 pounds, just the box. So you put, 4 gallons of milk or however much you can get in there. It looks like it might hold 8 half-gallon jars. So you get those full of milk. That's a lot of weight. And the weird thing is, and I realize I might be mixing and matching, and I should get it out here, but it's a pain. The ones that I have, the bottles come up just above the handle, so you actually can't get your hand through the handle if you have the bottles in there. I realize that I probably have the box from one milk company and the jars from another one that are in there, causing that problem. Starting to lose my voice. All right. Film strip previewer. I've had a few of these in my life. Not these particular models, but there was a time in my life when I would shoot Super 8 film. I did shoot Super 16 once and needed to preview that. Editing film on a Steenbeck. I can't remember if it's a Steenbeck, I think. Some of the most memorable and painful times in my life. If you've ever edited film on a Steenbeck, is it a Steenbeck? I gotta go look it up now. You would think I would know. Steenbeck flatbed. I think that's exactly what we are looking at. If you've ever edited film on one of these, you know what work is. It is, when you get in a groove, if it's a short film, great. I've done that once, and the entire time I was thinking, this is nuts. People cut together feature films on these. They used to. All right, breezing through this again. We're only halfway through the photos here, and we keep seeing the same thing. Good grief. Star Optics. It's sort of like the photographer here thought, oh, well, it's a German name. It's German Optics. This is like Hunter S. Thompson Nightmare. What in the hell is this? All right, I gotta grab this one so I can put it on Discord later as well. Hang on here. Let me do this and drop that there. Come back up here. All right. Yeah, there's some great stuff here. Not. All right. I feel like the first half of this live stream I was up. It was the mute problem. That did it. All right. Anchor. I don't know what to say. All right. I should just bail, right? I should just bail. This is fans. I do like fans because I'm a guy that sweats a lot. It's that time of year where it's hot out, get sweaty. I wish there were more people viewing, because this is where I would take direction from those folks who are viewing, and I would say, should I just bail on this auction, or should we power through? We've got what, 150-ish more photos to get through. I would like, actually, I'm going to do this one too. Steal that photo. Yes, I said steal. Anyway, can you hear me when I talk this low? Does it sound like I'm anyway? All right, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Oh yes, let's put the dog cage up for the estate sale and take a photo of it, because that might get somebody out from. Somebody might travel 30 miles for a dog cage. There's so much crap here. Powered locomotive, freight car, train stuff. Oh, good grief. You know, this is the kind of estate sale where I would walk in and I would say things like, I'll give you $250 for everything in the room. Seriously, I would just go in and make 250 is probably not enough, but you know, I'll give you 250 bucks for all the games, or you know, things like that. But this stuff is just organized. This stuff is a mess, you know. And then the stuff that, all right, I'm getting off of it. Getting off of it. Best rate estate sales and cleanouts. I bet their website is just as awful. Yeah, it's not that bad, but anyway. If you are watching, let me know if you can hear the dogs being tortured down the street. Realize that's a weird place if you just joined. Tell us if you can hear the dogs being tortured. Okay, it is 8:35 here on the, I almost said East Coast, here in Portland. I'm probably going to be out and about after a while, so I'm going to do, let's just do, is that a Portland? Can I do, let's just do this. I was trying to think of a zip code in a neighborhood I don't live, just so I could sort of break out of the circle a little bit. Did you not go? I don't think that search box is working. Gonna go check something over here really quick. I'm picking that up on the monitor. Sound meters anyway. All right, here we are. Portland, Oregon. Only 2 results, which I find somewhat suspect. But yeah, especially when my search for Portland, Oregon pulls up an estate sale in Austin, Texas. It looked like some good stuff there. All right, let's just do a different one here. See what that gets us. At least it gets us in the neighborhood. Privately listed sale. Sometimes that just means anyway. So I'm going to go to this Rundquist one, I think. Boyd's Auctions. They run a lot of estate sales here in town. Oh, huge Oregon City estate sale. I might go look at that one. By the time I got out there, let's look at that one. Oregon City. If you've not been there, Oregon City is actually older than Portland itself. And I was just there a while back. I love Oregon City. There's a lot of stuff going on there. There's all the trendy new stuff, gentrification you might want to say, but there's plenty of old Oregon City that's still there as well. And there's a vintage store there, vintage toys, comics, games. I can't remember the name of it. That's right there in Oregon City. That's a great place. Oregon City is also kind of a place where you can get drunk in the middle of the afternoon and probably find yourself in a fight in a back alley someplace. It's that kind of place. You know, it's got some flavor to it. All right. Description: huge Oregon estate sale. Blah blah blah. Home of Oregon artist Marilyn Woods, whom is a painter and potter. I think it would be who, because we know who it is. Just sort of, anyway. Plus she collected other artists' work. I have a feeling there's a lot of stuff here that's probably gone by now. Oregon artwork and limited edition prints, lots of pottery, potted plants, leather recliner with matching love seat. I'll tell you about my thoughts on recliners at estate sales here pretty soon. Let's see. I feel like not reading the rest of this because I have a feeling we should just jump into it. 127 photos. Perfectly respectable amount of photos for an estate sale. All right, so far haven't seen anything. Actually, this is a kind of a nice piece here. It's an odd piece of furniture. It definitely looks custom. It's kind of beautiful. I wish there were captions here so that we knew which was original art and which was possibly reproduction. We might be able to tell. All of this looks original. So far, not seeing anything that really jumps out at me. And I should go look up the person who the estate sale, the person who apparently died is what I'm trying to say. These are nice. This is actually, I'd actually buy this whole little ensemble here. This whole little vignette catches my eye, which means I'm going to put this up here. I'm gonna post some of these photos a little later. I realize I need to possibly my picture-in-picture is fine until I'm looking at these photos, and then it's sort of the layout of the screen doesn't quite work. That's fine. But yeah, I'd buy all these pieces. These look nice. I want to see more of these cabinets. Actually, I have a kitchen to redo, and I know it's probably, by the time you get these cabinets out and all that stuff, you know, it's a gamble. A lot of things that just don't really speak to me. A lot of things that could just be mass market. You know, is this stuff authentic? Is it reproduction? Original beach and seascapes there. These are original. These are not original. Actually, these pieces over here might be original to someone who made it. Lots of glass. I typically don't like buying glass bottles and stuff because it's just stuff that you got to store, and you know that, you know, if I'm going to buy something, here's the deal. If I'm buying something in an estate sale, it's something that I either want to use or display or put on a show, something like that, which we haven't done in a while. Looks like possibly lots of original artworks that are just sealed up. The description sold us a bill of goods, and so far these pictures don't quite pull it off. But that's okay. It's not nearly the train wreck that the previous estate sale we were looking at was. Let's see. Um, sorry, making weird noises. I'm just going to blow through these. I think I've decided there's no reason for me to go to Oregon City. I was kind of hoping this would be a reason to go to Oregon City. I don't need much of a reason to go there, but a smashing sale, estate sale, would have certainly done it. And now that we're outside, probably a lot of the good stuff is just, there's really nothing out here for us. Car. If you had just bought a home and you had a bunch of, you were trying to do some landscaping. Actually, this bench table here, I actually kind of like that. Who knows what shape it's in and if you could actually get it on a truck. But this bench, I would actually buy this bench table. And it's probably not for sale, is one of the things that you sometimes find at an estate sale. Tomato cages, cages for plants. The contrast here is such that you almost can't even see these. It's almost like a piece of art in itself. Little sculptures, outdoor stuff. I have no idea what that is. It looks like a tabletop. I don't know what that was. Tools, big ceramic store. Northern Super Slab Roller. Package. Okay. I would actually be interested in this piece of furniture, but don't want to drive the truck over there. All right, I apologize. This had the this had all the indications that there would be a lot of stuff here. So I'm going to get off of this. I'm actually going to go look at Home of Marilyn Woods. Well, obituary comes right up. Let's go look at it. Kansas City. Marilyn Woods, fine art. It's possible she's not dead. Sometimes these estate sales are people just, getting rid of a lot of stuff because they're downsizing. This is a beautiful piece. Make sure you get it all in there. About the artist. See if there's any. Woodhill Studio. I'm going to go off the camera here for a second, just because this is someone. So Marilyn Woods seemed to be alive 6 or 7 months ago. I realized life can turn on a dime and that can change. But I was hoping to see more about her art and whatnot. So I'm going to try one more thing. I forget what the newspaper is in Oregon City. And I'll bring the screen back up here in a second. All right, I'm not seeing any information on there, and I feel like I've done enough to try and validate that. Did I see all of these? All right, we'll go back here. So that's the estate sale for Marilyn Woods, who I think it's possible that she's just moving or something like that. But anyway, so there was that one. I'm going to go back. I really thought that was going to be something of note there. Okay, so we're going to go to this Boyd's auction. Runquist, you know, the fact that there's a car as the first photo, that's usually not a good sign. Yeah, this is, all right, so there's some things here that are not a good sign. This is in Vancouver, Washington, 157th Avenue. This is about a 20-minute drive for me. This is going to be the last auction I cover this morning. Make sure I got everything set up here. So we're going to look at this one, and then this might be the one I go to. I'm going to go to an estate sale today, somewhere around town, just to do it. Haven't been to one in a month, so I feel like my estate sale muscle needs a workout. Nice, clean, tidy condo includes furniture, Noritake china cabinet, curio cabinet, TV. You know, my mom would make a joke that a china cabinet and a curio cabinet is the same thing, but that's just sort of, I don't think that's racist, but it's just sort of, it's reductive at best. Okay. Bedroom set, collectibles, women's clothes and shoes, also available. A 2003 Chevy Cavalier with only 39,000 some odd miles on it. Actually, depending on the price, you know, Chevy Cavalier. I'm not a Chevy Cavalier kind of guy, but you know, if it's only got 40,000 miles on it, you know, it might be a good car for somebody. And they lead off with it. I'm not interested in a Chevy Cavalier. So it looks like it's in good shape. All right, here we go. Out of focus sofa. I'm assuming it's just the photo is out of focus, and that if you were to actually see the sofa, it would be in full focus as well. If you're watching, can you see if this is this distracting, all these hairs that are coming down? I need a haircut. Anyway, 12 of 65 photos. I have a feeling I'm not going to go to Vancouver for this estate sale, just based on what I'm seeing. Another out of focus. So, I was talking about estate sale photographers. You know, one of the things that separates someone who knows what they're doing from someone who doesn't are the photos in focus. And these appear. It's possible. No, I don't think it's my glasses. All right, I feel like I'm going to get off this one already, and that this is not the last one. There's just a lot of stuff. You know, in a live show, I once made a joke about if you want to buy picture frames, go to an estate sale, and it was just sort of all right, I gotta take this because I once made a joke about estate sales being a great place to buy picture frames, and apparently it wasn't funny, but it was true. All right, now I got off that. Let me get back down here. All right, I'm going to take this one as well. I'm just going to make this a photo collage. Oh, it doesn't want to come over. All right, screw it. You know, I don't want to buy the towels and washcloths of the dead. That should be. I gotta write that down. The towels and washcloths of the dead. It's like The Rockford Files. Tonight's episode, The Towels and Washcloths of the Dead. With a special appearance by Gretchen Corbett, who lives here in Portland. I'm just going to name drop that. I'm going to cut that out. All right. There's a lot of things here that are not inspiring. You know, part of it is these are just out of focus. I mean, like, is this like a bag with Elvis Presley wearing a CPAP mask, or is this just an extra pillow, a new pillow, and it's packaging? I don't know. I'm just going to move on. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Oh, good Lord. You know, nothing says Grandma's past like the purging of the family photos. Oh, will this one go over here? No, is it possible there's a setting where you can't? Oh, there it goes. Laundry hamper. Do you really want to buy a dead person's laundry hamper? Just asking. There's a lot of stuff here that... Ooh. Do you like eggs? Do you like Fabergé eggs, but less ornate? Just asking. I feel like I've reached the part of the... apparently it's the 2-hour mark where I become sort of just a jerk. Some people might say, no, it doesn't take 2 hours. Let's see. I think this was a steamer. Yeah, I think this is a clothing steamer. You know, ladder. Where's that going? Something somebody forgot to throw away? I'm kidding. I'm just... Alright, we're just going to close this one out. Alright, I've got to find an estate sale somewhere close by. Let's see. Johnson Creek, I'm not driving over there. Huge estate sale, locally featured. This one's in Beaverton. I don't really want to go to Beaverton. Don't want to go to Battleground. Looks like a lot of these are outside of Portland proper. Let's see. These are ones that are coming up. Not been opened yet. All right. Let's look at this one. Argay Terrace estate sale. Actually, I'm going to go look at this one in Beaverton. This is definitely the last one we're looking at. Half price sale. Usually that's the deal on Sunday. I'm not reading this one. Electra espresso machines and tools. Tools, and more tools. Woodworking tools. Apparently there's a lot of photos here. How many photos we got? 115. So this is an espresso machine. This is an old style espresso machine where you've got the pressure gauge up here. My guess is this thing is ornamental only. If you find these things in somebody's home and they're not in their 20s or 30s, I don't know. It's just, I have a feeling this is not operational espresso machine. That's just my guess. And as a non-operational espresso machine, I mean, it's a nice piece of brass. Looks good. It's in good shape. But if it doesn't work, you know. And here we are with out of focus photographs again. All right. Sewing machine. Probably the sewing machine. Hello. All right. So I'm going to take that back, what I said about that espresso machine. It might work because I believe this here is a coffee roaster. And if a person has a coffee roasting machine in their... I think that's what this is. This is the big hopper where you put your beans in. This is the element where everything is moving around inside. If you want to get a... here's where you can look at it. I think this is the scoop thing you can pull out to pull the beans out to see how they're roasting. And then this is the cooling hopper down here. I think that's what this is. I'll go back and look at the description here in a second, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, I'm going to take all that back about what I said about the espresso machines. This is a person that I think probably knew what they were doing, and this one is beautiful. I might be going to Beaverton, but these things are probably already gone. Gumball machine. I actually want one of these for a project that I'm working on. Let's see. Now we're into some of the uninteresting stuff. I don't need not pulling engines. Don't need that. Don't need a lot of these things. Get me back to the espresso machines. This is the kind of estate sale. When you see stuff like that, you kind of want to be at those estate sales. If they open on Thursday, you kind of want to be there. You definitely want to be there on Friday, because these things tend not to sit around very long. Now we're back in the part of the photos that just don't really say much. The lady of the decoration. Depending on how many books there are, I would buy these. Yeah, I would buy those by the lot. Just make an offer on all the books they have, knowing that you're probably going to be donating a lot of them back. Although that collection looked pretty good. All right, we're getting to be about halfway there. Back to the espresso machine. It looked like that was just some artwork that they were displaying on the side of it. Looks to be some original photos here that are kind of cool, and then just sort of again, books. I'd probably just make an offer on the whole lot. If Thomas is looking for his bed sheets, I think I found them. All right. Grandma's Racy Numbers. All right, now I'm just blowing through some of these. Vinyl records, usually I don't flip through them. I'll just offer a dollar value for a bunch of them, because that's the kind of thing, like, I don't want to stand in someone's home and pour over their stuff and then, you know, an hour later walk out of there with the 2 vinyl records that I want. I'd rather, you know, I don't want to spend $5 on the 2 vinyl records I want. I'd rather spend $50 on all the vinyl records they have and then come back home and pile through them, and then, you know how some of you know what I'm talking about. Let's see, Barbies, none of them in boxes. Superior coffee. I would disagree. Although back in the day, these were good. I would buy the Techniform Mocha Master. Actually, I'll go show you that one in a second. I should be making money for making these references here. Looks like an old school welding. I don't want to say helmet, but mask. More coffee makers. Who knows if these work? A grinder. I can't tell what kind of grinder that is. Lighters. They look to be in bad shape. Earrings. Can't tell. Coming near the end here. Somebody... is this a bandsaw? I don't know what this is. I've seen these already. Seen that already. Seen that already. I would buy this possibly and restore it, because I like when your record player had to be a big piece of furniture. All right, we're on photo 114 of 115. What is the last photo going to be? One we've already seen. All right, so there's some cool stuff here. I'm going to go back here and read this. Professional coffee roaster, several coffee makers, two styles of Electra espresso machines. So yeah, there's some good stuff there. Oh, coffee machine. And don't you know, don't be pained at the sticker price on this. The Technivorm Mocha Master. This is what I make coffee. This is what I'm going to be making coffee with in about 10 minutes. I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to take you to Amazon. And don't be pained by the colors. You can go plain old satin stainless steel if you want. And there's a few different models of these, including dual roaster. I love, and I'll show you what I have. Let me just make sure I'm on the right one. Brewers for home use. I believe it's the 741 that I have. Actually, it's not, because I need the taller. Here it is, the 741. And what was that one? 741 AO. So it's KBG and KBGC is the difference there. So I have this very coffee maker here. And I have made coffee out of this thing nearly every day for almost 2 years, year and a half. Coffee goes up in here, and then all your heating element and stuff is down in this thing here. So you fill this up with water, and it goes down here and gets heated up, and then it gets sucked back up through this center tube here, and then your pour head, if that's what you want to call it, your brew head, is over here, and it gets a nice, the coffee is distributed in a nice way throughout the basket, and you get really good coffee. It says 10 cups. Keep in mind that a cup of coffee is measured as 4 ounces, so you're not going to get 10 8-ounce cups of coffee out of that. But you'll certainly get enough coffee for, you know, if you've got 6 people sitting around a table, you're going to get everybody's going to get coffee on the first batch, so you'll probably want to put another one in pretty quickly. So there's no price on this one here. So let me take you to Amazon. Some people will look at the price of this and say, that is ridiculous. Some people will look at it and just say, oh, that's perfectly reasonable. I believe this is the numbers don't match up, but you're in the $300 price range for that coffee maker, and it does an amazing job. And there's another coffee maker that if you want to spend half that, it's also good. The name's escaping me, and I have to go in and take a look at what's in the house. I should move my coffee stuff out here and just make coffee out here. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. All right, that is enough. That's enough. Sorry, what? Oh, yeah. Well, you don't drink coffee. Oh, I see. You're not allowed to drink coffee, right? When Rory drinks coffee, he likes to take his pants off, and he takes his pants off and then he dances with the canned hams. And when I say dances with the canned hams, dancing's kind of anyway. What's that? No, you're not. You're certainly not doing that. All right, that's been me rambling on for 2 hours. I apologize for that bit in the middle where I was muted, I think probably for 10 minutes. But I was likely not saying anything worthy of value. I want to thank Shield Pure Lard for being our sponsor, Shield Pure Lard. The only lard guaranteed to be free of chicken, bone, and lard-like substances, that being hair, rat turds, fingernails, the kind of things you would find in other lards. I appreciate having the Shield Pure Lard Company as a sponsor. I appreciate your time, whether you're watching this later or you watched it live. I'm Big Ed Barnum. I thank you very much.